is a horrible fucking place in Mayan or Aztec mythology, whatever the hell it is. It's
wow. I just
what the hell those people down there?
So your bitch is that some Aztecs or Mayans might be mad because he got his mythology wrong?
I know if you're going to rely on that, you damn well better get it right.
Wow, I just hated the movie because I thought it fucking sucked.
There is that. And you know what?
I loved it.
I've had a couple of
thought it was
beers,
like
as we all have. I'm probably fucking it up even worse. Maybe he was spot on, but you're right.
I thought it was a Skittles commercial. Taste the rainbow.
You just don't believe in love. But anyway, this guy, who regardless of how you feel about his films, he tries to make almost entirely really deep, cerebral, metaphorical films.
Who almost did Batman.
Is doing
So here's our punchline.
the next RoboCop film.
Okay.
And if you are trying to tell me that RoboCop is deep and cerebral, I'm going to leap across this table and kick your ass.
Well,
Come on, the
here-
Prime Directive?
Here's where things get Star Trek. And Star Trek is deep and cerebral.
Wait,
No.
was it not the Prime Directive?
No.
What was the thing that RoboCop...
He had the little rules of robotics.
He had the Asimov.
I don't think it was called Prime Directive.
This is
All
not
right, well-
really worth going into deeply
Yeah, maybe so.
because
I just want to bring it up because it's so fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
RoboCop is Paul Verhoeven. It is him.
Yeah,
Who
it's
is known for being
Ro-
cerebral.
RoboCop. No, I mean the thing is,
And for whoring and drinking beer.
RoboCop would have been like a throwaway direct-to-video movie that you wouldn't have thought too much about, except Paul Verhoeven directed it in such a way where he put like so many smart and cynical messages in it, and the violence is cranked up higher than anything I'd seen at that point. To
And
the point where
giant
it made me
robots with
nauseous.
machine guns.
And he really made a statement, and like he made that movie so much more than it should have been.
And then Miller got involved.
Oh, God.
Frank Miller.
Was he involved? Was Frank Miller involved in 2 at
Yes.
And 3, I believe.
and
all? Okay.
3.
See, everybody talks about,
Wow,
Frank
he
Miller.
did
He's
3?
this visionary new Hollywood guy. I'm like, have you people forgotten RoboCop 2 and 3?
People are like, oh my God, Frank Miller's awesome. Spirit's going to be so cool. And then I show him his previous attempts at Hollywood, RoboCop 2 and 3. And then I show him The Leftovers, the shit the producers took out. And then he made a comic that nobody knows about called RoboCop versus the Terminator.
I remember. I know about
It's
that.
shit.
Yes, it is.
Good. Yeah, it was
Nice one,
really
Jason.
bad. Yeah. Good recall. I was actually thinking about that the other day and just reading it and thinking, oh my God, it's the guy that wrote Dark Knight Returns, and it's RoboCop versus Terminator, and it was a total geekgasm. And then when I read it, even when I was like 15, I was like, this is shit.
My question is, what the fuck is Darren Aronofsky thinking? Why would he have any interest in this project at all?
Darren Aronofsky has got bills to pay, and Catherine Zeta, or not Catherine Zeta-Jones, what's his wife's name? Rachel Weisz.
Oh, is he married to Rachel Weisz?
No,
Yeah.
come on. She signed out of the Mummy 3.
Oh, that's why she was in
They
that
can't
shit
be
movie.
that badly in
Well,
debt.
no,
She wasn't in the Mummy 3.
No, she signed
she's
out
not.
of it. She
Oh.
turned it down.
Okay, yeah, because she's like, oh, Darren will buy me things.
Yes,
And
it-
Darren's like, honey, I ain't got a lot of cred left after the fountain.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. He's obviously doing a vehicle that's going to make some money, but I mean, I'm really interested.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
I love it when they juxtapose weirdness like this. I
Well,
mean,
his concept-
well, let's go see what he's going to do.
Before Christopher
he
Nolan
might really
got...
screw it up, but
Yeah.
after 2 and 3, there's
yeah.
not a lot of ways to go except up.
Before Christopher Nolan signed on to Batman, Darren Aronofsky was a hair's breadth away from relaunching the franchise. And his ideas for it, I was really intrigued by.
What were they? I'm curious.
Well, it was very much...
Don't tell me Bruce Wayne was going to dress up like Kwai Chang Caine and enter a Skittles commercial and float to the top of the world with a rainbow.
That sounds awesome.
To you, it does.
It was
yeah.
actually Bruce Wayne fighting an evil flesh-eating refrigerator from Requiem for a
See,
Dream.
now that's really incredible.
I think so.
I'm a wreck.
But no, it was very...
It was a cross between Batman Year One and Deathbed, the bed that eats people.
Yeah, it was going to be very French Connection and very lo-fi 70s gritty crime
Actually, that
noir
sounds
thing.
fucking
I was gonna
awesome.
say.
Doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I was sold. So
Hey, sure. It sounded awesome until we got The Dark Knight, and now it's
Oh, yeah.
like, okay, do whatever.
What
Yeah.
were you going to do better than that?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. See, my thinking is Aronofsky was supposed to do Batman. They were all excited about it. He's like, no, I have to do this very personal film I have first. It was a fountain. They were like, you know what? It's probably good he didn't do this.
It only took him 10 years to make it.
Right.
Yeah, that was a
so,
long
So
and-
now that The Dark Knight has come out and been like the biggest hit ever, I think he's looking back going like, shit.
Yeah.
I could have put the fountain off another 5, 10, 20 lifetimes.
Fucking Hugh Jackman.
And he's like, you know what? I'll grab something else Frank Miller touched, and maybe that'll do it for me.
Why couldn't he do Ronin?
Yeah.
That would have been more.
You know
up
what?
his
That
alley.
actually would have fit him more.
Yeah, Ronin would have been right
yeah.
up his alley.
Yeah.
We've got an animation question, and actually a pretty decent animation
Okay,
question
let's
from
hit it.
Kimura Triangle, who asks,
What?
it's,
all
you know
over
what?
this bitch.
It's just one of our users. What do you
Okay.
want from
All
me?
right. Fine.
They don't have links to how you pronounce it.
Is it Khmer Rouge?
Yeah, we have Kimura Rouge asks, as I grew up in the 90s, I have lots of awesome memories of the great series that came out in that decade, like Beast Wars, Batman,
Animated
the
ones.
animated series,
Yeah,
etc.
pretty sad.
What are some of the league's fondest memories of 90s cartoons, animated series, and why? And he says, I mean, other than Batman, the animated series.
Yeah.
That's
since
the obvious answer. But I'll tell you what, a lot of the guys that went on to do Batman and Superman Adventures and Justice League got their start on Tiny Toons, which
That's
is
true.
what I
Yes.
am rewatching right now, and I am enjoying the hell out of
Tiny
it.
Toons,
They're
Freakazoid,
so awesome.
Animaniacs,
Animaniacs,
all the
yeah.
Steven Spielberg
Warner
was
Brothers went through like this freaking golden age in the 90s, and they were just churning out all of these great series that, unlike a lot of the stuff that was coming out at the time, like Muppet Babies or stuff that was just, or the Scooby-Doo Babies or stuff that was just taking stuff and making it younger and horrible.
Was there a
They
Scooby-Doo
were,
Babies?
yes, there was.
Oh my
they
God.
were coming up with original concepts, and like the Tiny Toons, which
Yeah, 'cause that's so different from Muppet Babies.
No,
It's-
they're way. Have you ever watched them? They're
Yeah.
way different.
No, it's great, but the concept is still pretty much the same damn thing.
No, it's not. I mean, they start out as the initial kernel, but instead of going, well, let's make baby Bugs and baby Daffy, they're like, well, let's make younger cartoons, but let's have them be inspired by the originals.
1 degree of separation.
Honestly,
Nah,
you haven't
I
watched
go
them in
2
a
or
long
3,
time
yeah.
because they really were brilliant.
They were
they're just
brilliantly
like
funny.
so funny that it's really hard to separate them in quality from the original Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
they're that
They're
good.
that good.
I would say
As is the Animaniacs, which was completely original.
Yeah.
I would say this about Tiny Toons. I remember because, if we back up 10 years before that, what we went through was toward the end of the 70s was like during the Super Friends era. Superhero cartoons were
so-
huge.
yeah.
They might have been good, but they were huge. There were lots
Yeah,
of
they
them.
weren't very good, but yeah, I was watching.
I mean,
they
they were-
Batman and the Super Friends.
They were very prolific.
Lone
and then
Ranger and
toward-
Tarzan.
yeah, exactly. Toward the
big
end,
Tarzan.
you got Filmation doing Tarzan and Lone Ranger, where Filmation was actually like, "Hey, let's put some work into these." You had Batman, and then that kind of died out. Like Thundar the Barbarian was the last of those.
I
Yeah.
love Thunder.
God,
Yeah,
Thundar
no, me
was
too.
good.
And then once that died out, you had a different age of cartoon, which was all He-Man, Thundercats,
they were all toy
Transformers.
they were all toy commercials.
And exactly. They were
Yeah.
30-minute. They weren't cartoons. They were 30-minute toy commercials.
There was
That was
there
what
were legal
that's what the
reasons
80s
for that.
was all about.
Wrong.
And as far as Saturday morning, that was when a station started going like, you know what? Instead of paying for animation, let's just get these live action shows on here. Let's just kill animation. Whatever animation we have will be based on video games. So then it was almost dead, and then Spielberg came around with Tiny Toons and all that. And I don't want
relit
to
it.
knock Tiny Toons, but as an animator, I would watch it and realize like, this is over animated. The scripts are good, it's very funny, but the animation sucks because they're moving way too much to match the animation. As opposed, they had none of the subtlety of the
Interesting.
original Warner Brothers
That is
cartoons.
interesting.
No, I mean, and I'll do with that because I was watching it and I was like, boy, those lines are so thick, and there's technically that's a good argument, but as far as like the stories themselves and the characters, completely
That's the
badass.
thing. It's like I couldn't completely knock it. I'm like, on one hand, they're getting it very wrong, but in a more important way, they're doing it.
And you have to
very
remember
thing.
the budget was much larger for the original Looney Tunes because
Oh,
they
yeah.
were theatrically released.
Oh,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But the thing is, you know what? As Beau pointed out, those led to Batman the Animated Series. And that series, besides being like the definitive word on Batman and being one of the best cartoons ever, it really brought back this new age of animation that we
Right,
have right now.
Well, I want to say that, I mean, while the Warner Brothers stuff that we've all been talking about really was the watermark, I still kind of have a soft spot for some of the Marvel adaptations, and there were a lot during the 90s.
Yeah.
Some of them were kind of good, too.
Yeah, the X-Men.
Well, X-Men and
was
Spider-Man.
awesome,
X-Men and Spider-Man
Yeah.
in particular, but there were also lesser-known ones that, like...
Don't say Fantastic Four and Iron Man.
Were there? I didn't even know there was a
And Jason looks abashed.
I had no idea.
They weren't really all that good when they were around, and if you watch them now, you go, ooh.
Oh, really? Like,
Yeah.
Because I only remember them then because they came on at like 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon.
You
or
were
something
so
like that.
high. When that did.
I will say, just because I don't want to just stick to juvenilia when we're talking about 90s cartoons, I was just remembering the other day two of my faves from the 90s, which were Dr. Katz, Professional Therapist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The first big breakout hit for
Fuck
Comedy
that.
Central. And hey, you can get
You,
down
did,
and
you didn't
get
like
down and
Dr.
suck it.
Katz? Are you serious?
And
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not Dr. Katz. The Critic. I lumped those two together.
and the second one I was going to say, The Critic. I love The Critic, man.
No, the
It's
hell with
awesome.
them. Oh, wait.
Buy my book.
90s cartoons? Wait, is this right?
The Simpsons?
I was going to say The Simpsons.
Pac-Man.
The Simpsons actually they started in 89.
Okay.
actually.
But the thing about The Simpsons, like when
That was the golden
88,
age, though.
when the
88,
original
they were
Warner-
on the Tracy Ullman show.
when
so
the
you can make
original
argument.
Warner Brothers cartoons went away, it seemed like nobody could ever capture that timing that they had. And The Simpsons was the first cartoon to go like, they got it. The timing.
Yeah.
They know how to do it.
90s cartoon? The Pirates of Dark Water.
That was a good cartoon.
I've
Yes.
never even heard of that.
No.
Harlan Ellison had a huge hand
It's one of
in
those
creating
cartoons
that.
where I was like, okay, Thunder the Barbarian was the last action adventure cartoon that was any good,
Yeah.
and they had the Pirates of Dark Water. And I was
Very
like,
short-lived.
The Peter Pan they did in the 90s with Tim Curry voicing
yeah.
Captain Hook was awesome.
That was good.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
great little series. I watched it, pretty regularly.
Yeah, well, where I grew up,
I
it
saw
used to
it.
come on at like
It
6 in the
really-
morning.
I don't know, man. In the 90s, I was out
You were getting
desperately
stoned all
trying
the
and
time.
failing to get laid.
Yeah,
so-
you were putting on mascara and doing lots of X and talking about
well,
Depeche
only because
Mode.
I was at the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Come on.
You're not helping your case.
Yeah, man, you were doing weird shit while we were watching cartoons.
Yeah, that's
We were being
true.
cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are so much more hip than me.
No, I grew-
Oh, wait.
Oh shit.
Damn it.
The Tick.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you dropped it.
Dear esteemed members of the Leog, here's my question to you. If you were a supervillain, what would your superpower be, and what would be the nefarious scheme that you would unleash on Earth? As a bonus question, who would your arch nemesis be, and what would be the name of your debut issue? Thanks.
That was our audio question by Gerardo Paz. Jason, you said you wanted to say you had an answer ready.
Yeah, if I were supervillain, my telepathy, getting laid, my arch-villain would be my girlfriend. And the first issue would probably be... What, were we talking about the name of the series or the name of the story? Like,
I assume the name of the series.
I think he means like the title of the first. So like if this be my destiny.
oh, yeah.
Oh, you laugh, but there were like 500 Marvel comics.
No,
in the
I laugh
60s.
because
Yeah.
it's
It
too
is.
true,
It's the
yeah.
the typical Stan Lee story time.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with The Fire Down Below.
It's a good question, but I don't, I mean,
Is it a good question? I mean, it's one of those things I always thought about.
kinda cool.
it takes work. That's the
It does.
problem we
It's-
have
it's
with
like-
it. And
like-
we don't like work here at Leog.
Like Doctor Doom. Doctor
Obviously.
Doom wants to take control of the world. It's like, okay, dude, we're giving you control of the world. Now what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah.
It's like now you got people lined up coming to
kill
ask you
brown
for shit.
people.
Is this a superpower? Free drugs and all the pussy I want.
Sure, you can be you will be George Clooney.
I'll be one of your flunkies.
Well, yeah, I think that'll be my supervillain power will be to be George Clooney, and my supervillain name will be George Clooney.
I think he is.
And
a
my
supervillain.
debut issue will be If This Be My George Clooney.
And who would be your
Smell my finger.
who would be your arch enemy?
And my arch enemy would be Julia Roberts.
Okay,
That'd be Matt Damon.
I figured Giovanni Ribisi, somebody completely ineffectual,
Yeah.
and a Scientologist to boot.
No,
yeah.
in actuality, my nemesis would almost certainly have to be Neil Patrick Harris.
Okay.
Why?
Come on, a fight between Neil Patrick Harris and George Clooney? That'd be awesome!
Yeah, he's got a point there.
Leon and Jason F., not the regular Jason, but the other Jason, went to Comic-Con. Now, while I'm extremely pissed about this, at the same time, I'm not going to even go there. So, I just know that everybody wants to know what the fuck happened. I have even cut Leon off from telling me what happened because I wanted to save it for this. So, you know what? I'm just going to let you at this point take over at host and just, come on, man. Tell us what the fuck
So,
happened.
Leon, did he get any tail?
I did.
Did you, in fact... Fuck.
She was dressed up like Aerith from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, see, now that makes it even worse because I have this whole fantasy... Okay, anyway, what were you saying?
You have a whole fantasy that you fuck Leon?
Where did that come from?
Yeah, where'd that come from? I don't even know where to go
It didn't
from
even
that.
evolve out of that at all. No, I have a fantasy about fucking Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. I'm not sure how it turned into
But
Leon.
oddly enough, she is dressed up as Leon. I don't know why. But I find it chillingly erotic.
Apparently, everyone in the room wants to have sex with you except me. Like, I had no idea this was going to have such a strong reaction. Anyway.
Neither did I. Well, anyway, Comic-Con was really cool. So, what else we got to talk about?
Yeah, dude, it was really awesome.
All right, so Corey and I go out for Comic-Con.
Yes.
And it was amazing. And I've gone a lot of years. Like, back in another lifetime when I was a comic book artist, I used to go all the time, and I stopped. And I got pulled back last year because I had another book come out that I didn't expect to work on. And
And it was a damn good book, by the way.
thank you. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Thank you.
Do you want to... I guess you can't really say what the name of it is.
Well, I can say it's called Left on Mission by Boom Studios.
Yeah.
They'll-
And he did something on it.
I worked on it. That's all you need to know.
Yes.
But coming.
It's a 1 in 5 chance, stalkers.
So this year, Corey and I went out, and man, the show is so much bigger. Like it grows exponentially every year. And it's one of these things where people who are the hardcore diehard comic fans will all tell you, like, man, comics are really getting pushed out. The show used to be all about comics. Movies kind of came in for a little bit. Now when you go, it's a third comics, and the other 2/3 is broken up by anime, video games, television, and movies. And I met some great fans, like some people who showed up for the purpose of seeing Corey and I.
Oh.
And these guys are really cool. Like,
So who'd you see from the site?
Was a group of them. You know what? What I've discovered is that there's a lot of people out there who log onto the site and watch the videos and don't join. They aren't members.
Sure.
And so I'm in a group of
I
guys.
did that for a long time.
You see, you're another one. And we met a great group of guys who work at Rockstar Games.
What, the guys who did Grand Theft Auto?
They didn't work on Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, okay.
They
So
worked
they're
on
the guys who did Manhunt.
They worked on some other Rockstar games.
The guys at the Grand Theft Auto guys beat up on their way to their offices.
Hey, look who it
Hey,
is!
come over here and take your noogies. All right.
The guys at Rockstar that cleaned the shitter.
So basically, the nerds from every big
No,
organization.
these guys are programmers and artists. They were actually pretty cool.
You've got hey man, we made some Spielberg movies. We love your what movie did you do? Batteries not included.
We even went out to lunch with these guys. I'm just gonna pretend like you guys didn't say that. But there was one point when they were also complaining about, like, man, comics are getting pushed out. I don't even want to call this the San Diego Comic Con. And I was like, you know what? As much as I want to agree with you guys, I'm out here promoting my movie-related web show, so I don't really have a leg to stand on as far as how much comics are getting pushed out of this thing. And matter of fact, if you took all this other stuff, all the non-comic related stuff out, the show would probably either shrink or dry up. I mean, it's just a real, just the realism of commerce. Sorry.
Sure.
Anyway, while I was there, as I've posted on my blog, tons of hot women all over dressed in costume.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, lots of just normal people who are really into the show. Lots of celebrities there.
Now, you've, been with a lady.
Yes.
What's it like? No, but Jason, on the other hand.
Yeah, I've been with a lady.
Oh, no, I don't mean your mom.
Oh, God damn it.
Hope you enjoyed the view coming out, geek.
I've been with his mom.
That's the last time you've seen it for a while.
No, I'm sorry. That was
Why?
so
We should
horrible.
probably edit all of that out.
Inappropriate. But that being said, still funny, so it's staying in.
Terrific.
Let's spoil some more movies. Come on, Jason.
Bruce Wayne is Batman, and Jason's mom is
That
good in the
chick in the
sack.
crying game, it's a dude. It's totally a dude.
No, my question to Jason, though, on this one is, not you, Jason.
Snape
other
kills Dumbledore.
No!
Jason F., did you get any Mac time with hotties in costume?
No, I was pretty much just walking around like, oh my God. No, I just like,
Did you get any Mac time with hotties in costume? You didn't even...
Excalibur reference. Yeah. Fucking A.
I'm trying to get a reference to somebody who's like so far separated from you in age, Jason, that you might as well not even be in the same universe at this point. So, come on.
me in 15 years.
All right, come on. Let it fly.
what fly?
You know what, Jason F., tell us about your Comic-Con experience.
No, just this was my first one. It was probably it was a thing between my friends who just graduated. It's like, this is like our gift to ourselves, and we got there. We had no idea what we were doing, so we were just walking around, mostly looking at action figures, and like, oh my God, there's another side with all this like free shit they were giving out. And no, I saw a couple like celebrities on the floor, like Lou Ferrigno. He's kind of a douchebag. He was asking, yeah, he was asking for $70 if you take a picture with him.
What?
He's an
Yeah.
asshole. He is an asshole.
Of course, if he was here, you'd be like, Lou, you're awesome.
You know what?
You can tell him he's an asshole because he's deaf.
No, I got to be honest because I walked around taking pictures, which I'm gonna post in a blog probably before this Leon goes up or on the same day. But I was about to take a picture and I saw him asking people for money. Like, I didn't know it was $70, but I was like, okay, I'm not gonna pay that, so I'll take a picture of his display. Because I was like, you know what? I should just take his picture anyway. It's my camera. And then I had an image of the Incredible Hulk beating the shit out of me on the dealer's room floor. And I was like, you know what? I don't like that image at all.
Now, I got an autograph from him a couple of years ago when the Ang Lee Hulk movie came out.
Yeah.
And I bought like some 70s Hulk poster or early 80s or whatever, and he signed it for me, and it's completely illegible, and it cost me $20. Fortunately, I was drunk.
Wow.
You had to have been to pay $20 for a Lou Ferrigno
I
signature
know, but I was
on
just like,
anything.
God, this is gonna be hilarious. Hanging in my office. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
As funny.
So
Hold on.
you were really drunk, is what you're saying.
You know what eBay is, right?
And this is after coming out of Charlie's Angels 2, which I was drinking beer trying to kill myself.
Anything would have
during
been
the
better than that at that point. Yeah.
I love that you're like, oh, just call him a douchebag. He can't hear. You're like, they have hearing aids now, asshole. I'm going to fuck you up.
This guy's arms are bigger than your
there goes
head. You know, he may be a douchebag, but he's a douchebag with muscle to back his douchebagness up.
But Jason was talking about him not scoring at
Okay,
Comic-Con.
yeah, so indeed.
Another kind of a douchebag. I love this guy's writing. I think I like almost everything he's done, but Robert Kirkman's kind of a douchebag.
Really?
No, just
Robert
like, seriously,
Kirkman, who did The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead,
and...
no, like maybe it's just like a one-time experience, but I waited 2 hours for a signing he was supposed to show up to like, I wasn't even going to get anything signed. I just wanted to ask him a question about one of his comics. He didn't show up, so he came back later, and he was in the booth kind of talking to the back, and he saw me and a friend, and just kind of looked at us like, oh, shit, forget that. And we waited for a while, and then he came up to us like, what's up? He's like, yeah, you didn't show up for your signing. You mind signing this? He's like, sure. And then he just put his initials and walked off. It's like,
Well, he initialed it?
What?
yeah, just that he put
What
RK.
What a douche.
Hey, well,
That is pretty douchey.
At least he did put something on it. I don't know.
Well, so we now at Leog are calling Robert Kirkman out. We love your stuff. We talk about your shit all the time, how great it is, including this guy, Jason, who the last time he was on here spent 20 minutes talking about how great your stuff is, and the best you could do is go, fine, whatever, and initial it.
Except for your Ultimate X-Men, which kind of blew, to be honest.
Panels I went to Watchmen, I went to Wolfman to see Rick Baker, who's awesome.
I
The
love
one
Rick
thing about
Baker.
Wolfman that was depressing, though, they showed the trailer, which was cool, and then somebody asked,
Is
hey,
this the Jason? Is this the Benicio del Toro?
yeah,
Wolfman?
the
Okay.
Joe Johnston one, who also directed The Rocketeer. The Wolfman trailer was freaking awesome. It was really cool. It should be coming out pretty soon. I think it was leaked on Spill, but somebody asked, have you filmed the practical transformation yet? And Rick Baker's like, no, they want to do it in CG.
Oh.
And just like you could see, there's like this anger in his eyes. Like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. This is my dream project. And of course, I saw it in like 2 movie sites who interviewed him about this. And they're just like, we gotta push the studios to do a practical one. Because they haven't even filmed it yet.
The Wolfman transformation is the one thing that should never go to CG. I mean, it's already been done as good as it can
Yeah.
be done.
American Werewolf in London.
practical, an American Werewolf in London. So why would you ever think,
Yeah.
oh no, we can do it
Why-
better
yeah,
in CG?
why screw with it?
Because you can't.
Yeah, you don't want to make it look like American Werewolf in Paris.
Yeah, exactly. Which was exactly that. It was crap. It was a CG.
I thought Gene Kelly was great in that. Oh, wait. Never mind.
They showed, it's probably gonna be rated R. They showed bits of gore. Benicio del Toro and Emily Blunt showed up. I never even heard of Emily Blunt. And then she was there. She was really funny and she's really fine, actually. And then
Yeah, I
looked
love
up, like,
Emily Blunt.
Who is Emily Blunt? I don't know.
Devil Wears Prada.
I don't know. She's got
I
a cool.
think.
She was a
Oh,
secretary
yeah.
in the
Oh,
Devil's
yeah,
Prada.
yeah. No, she
No,
is.
no, no.
She's
She's
very
awesome.
hot.
Anything else? You see anything funky? See anybody kissing somebody they weren't supposed to? Did you see anybody who was way too drunk? I heard Jonathan.
It wasn't prom, Cyrus.
Yes.
Do tell. Do tell.
It was. And I, much like prom, wasn't invited.
Yes.
I heard Jonathan Frakes was got drunk and was singing in a hotel bar at some point.
Really?
Yeah, well, the videos are on YouTube. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To be honest, San Diego Con is so big. There's no way you can see everything. I mean, unless you are Jamie Madrox, the multiple man, and can split yourself off, it's impossible to see everything. There'll be at least 2 or 3 things going on at the same time that you want to see, and you got to make a decision.
Ouch.
Yeah, and there's numerous parties going on after the show that some you will be invited to and some you won't, and you just won't be able to go.
Did
Now,
you get invited to any rockin' parties there, Leon?
Actually, as a matter of fact, I was going to save it, but yes, I did because the owner of